Kumusta? Kumusta? Welcome to the Jay Aruga Show podcast, the first conservative podcast in the Philippines. Anong topic natin today? We'll talk about the science, quote-unquote science, of transgenderism. And before we head to the topic, I would like to invite you to subscribe kung first time yung manood or makinig ng the Jay Aruga Show podcast. And siguro share nyo na rin tong podcast episode na ito. Hit that like button. You know the drill. Gawin nyo ito para mamayagpag tayo sa algorithm ng YouTube at Spotify. Okay, so ano topic natin today? So sabi na may science daw sa transgenderism despite na we've been showing its logical inconsistency, may science daw ito. And we'll give it a shot. Panoorin natin ang isang video na sikat sa internet. Nag-garner siya ng 2.2 million views at ito yung isa sa mga ginagamit nilang pang justify kung bakit scientific ang pagiging transgender. Ang isang biological male, kapag nag-identify siya as a woman, bakit daw ito kailangang paniwalaan? Dahil scientific daw ito. Okay, so let's watch this video and find out.
There's a lot of misinformation out there about what it means to be transgender, but recently scientists have begun to look more closely into the neurology, physiology, and psychology behind it.
So today we're going to break down what science does know in a respectful and educational way. Hey guys, I'm Gigi Gorgeous, and today I'm here with ASAP Science to break down the science of being transgender. Before we get too deep into it, we have to look at your genetic sex, or the chromosomes you have. These were determined right at fertilization, when the sperm cell from your father, which carries an X or a Y chromosome, fused with the egg from your mother, which carries an X chromosome.
But until 6 or 7 weeks after fertilization, both XY and XX embryos have identical gonads. Around 7 weeks, the male sex organs start to develop because of a gene on the Y chromosome called SRY. It causes cells to become more specialized, and these cells create testosterone, which in turn triggers the development of structures like the penis and scrotum, while other cells block female development by degenerating the female ducts. However, in female development, because there is no Y chromosome with the SRY gene, these ducts stay intact and become the uterus, cervix, upper vagina, and the oviduct with the help of estrogen and chemicals secreted by the early kidney. But
Okay, so far so good. Yeah, I think so far I agree with their science, of course, dahil science ito.
it's not always that simple. There are sometimes even rare combinations like XXY, XXX, XXYY, etc., and even people with XX chromosomes that develop male genitals and characteristics due to a piece of the Y chromosome breaking off and switching places to an X chromosome.
But sexual differentiation in the
Okay, wait lang. Before we continue, as always, tuwing pinag-usapan ang transgenderism, laging sinisimulan nila ito sa intersex or yung tinatawag na DSD, Disorder in Sexual Development. And they kind of convolute things. Kino-convolute nila ang pagiging trans with intersex when in fact, marami naman sa mga trans ay hindi intersex. And just to give you an idea, may sinulat si Ann Fausto Sterling about intersex and sinasabi niya na 1 out of 50 daw ay intersex, which is a very blown up number. Dinibunk ito ni Leonard Sachs dahil sinali kasi ni Ann Fausto Sterling yung mga tinatawag na LOCA, LOCAH, late onset congenital adrenal hyperplasia. And ito yung mga may problema sa pagkakaroon ng hormones early on sa kanilang age. Pero hindi sila intersex in such a way na ambiguous ang kanilang genitalia. Kanina may mga pinakitang difference in chromosomes dahil ang normal na chromosome ay may 46 chromosomes and ang dulo nito ay either XX or XY. At ito yung nagde-determine ng iyong sex normally for a vast majority of people. Pero, of course, may certain uh, anomalies, but these are anomalies. Hindi sila yung rule. They're exceptions to the rule. And minsan may X chromosome lang and ito yung tinatawag na Turner syndrome at minsan meron namang XXY chromosome which is yung Klinefelter syndrome. And hindi ambiguous ang genitalia nila. Yung mga ambiguous ang genitalia, even yung example nila kanina na XX chromosome na DSD na may piece of SRY gene na nag-develop as male. Meron ding XY ang chromosome pero missing naman ng SRY gene. Meron siyang female genitalia. So yung SRY gene yung nagdedetermine because ito yung may blueprint ng toy-toy ng isang lalaki. Pero very rare yung may tinatawag na ovuotesticular DSD. Ito yung ambiguous genitalia. Although ambiguous siya, nag-develop pa rin siya into a certain sex. Pero meron lang konting trace ng other sex. And there are only 500 cases of these throughout human history na report. So these are very rare. Okay, so moving on. So again, intersex, iba to sa transgender dahil hindi naman lahat ng intersex ay may ambiguous genitalia and hindi naman lahat ng transgender ay meron ding ambiguous genitalia dahil karamihan sa mga trans ay kita naman kung ano ang kanilang kasarian sa pagitan ng kanilang legs. Okay, so let's continue the video.
Brain actually happens much later than gonadal differentiation. And yes, although controversial, male and female brains have structural and functional differences between each other. Studies have found that males generally have a larger cerebrum, cerebellum, and hippocampus, while females have higher density left frontal lobes and larger volumes in the right frontal lobes. So what exactly do we see when we look at the brain of a transgender person? Several studies have shown that transgender brains are both structurally and functionally more similar to their experienced gender identity than their biological sex.
One study found that trans women who, despite being assigned male at birth, had a smaller female-sized structure in the hypothalamus. MRI scans also show the brain structures of trans people to be more similar in thickness to their experienced gender and not their sex. Finally, the pheromone androstenedione causes different hypothalamic responses.
Pause muna. So, dito sinasabi nila na sa brain daw, mas malapit daw ang brain ng trans person sa brain ng babae. But ang totoo niyan ay hindi 100% ito true. Kung mag-scan ka ng lahat ng brains ng mga trans women, hindi lahat ay tutugma sa brain ng babae. There are some who will and some who don't. And mamaya explain natin kung bakit. Because may studies din that says na ang brain ng trans person who are attracted to, let's say, same sex, meaning trans woman siya, lalaki siya, who's attracted to a guy as well, sila yung nalalapit ang brain sa babae. Pero ang trans woman na attracted pa rin sa babae, hindi sila nalalapit yung utak nila sa babae. So may kinalaman ito actually doon sa pagiging quote-unquote gay nila rather than sa pagiging trans nila. At the same time, may ambiguity sa brain, di ba? Mapapansin nyo, hindi 100% determining factor ng pagiging babae ang kanilang brain. Teka, maaaring matanong nyo, may ambiguity sa brain? May ambiguity din sa genitalia minsan? Bakit ang brain ang ginagamit nating determining factor kahit na may ambiguity dito? Pero yung genitalia, kapag nagkaroon ng ambiguity, which is very rare, hindi ito ang determining factor kung babae o lalaki ang isang transgender. Okay, let's continue.
Responses in male and female brains. And when individuals with gender dysphoria were exposed to it, the hypothalamic response matched their perceived gender rather than their sex. These studies help to highlight how masculinization or feminization of the gonads is not always the same as the brain, and that there's a difference between your sex or your anatomy and your gender or how we perceive our own bodies. There also seems to be a genetic component to transgender identity. Looking at family histories, gender identity incongruence seems to run in the family, meaning they may be inherited. The CYP17 gene, which controls the body's level of sex hormones, has a changed allele that is expressed frequently in trans men. Although more research could be done, scientists are currently looking at over 3 million DNA markers for transgender identity to investigate any genetic link for being trans.
Even though scientific studies validate the experience of transgender people, they're still suffering from more depression and anxiety than the general public. The risk of suicide is more prominent in transgender people who have been rejected by their family, discriminated in the workplace, or in healthcare. Suicide risks seem to decrease after gender transitioning, suggesting that gender dysphoria can cause an extreme amount of emotional pain, even to the point of suicide. If you, a family member,
Okay, so let's stop at that. And you know what, guys? There are research that say na gender dysphoria is actually a symptom ng more underlying mental condition. And shucks, dahil sa sinabi ko ito, yan na, hindi na pwedeng i-monetize ang video na ito sa YouTube. Okay, so anong masabi natin diyan? Actually, guys, yung science of transgenderism, ang mga umaangal dito ay yung mga trans activist group mismo. Basahin natin to. So, 2 years ago, ang Translucent, a pro-trans activist group, maglalabas sana sila ng research na quote-unquote that would prove na there is scientific evidence sa transgenderism, which is actually the same thing nung pinanood nating video because the video that we watched 2 years ago din ito pinalabas. So sabi dito ng Translucent, on Sunday we posted that we would publish an article on Friday regarding being trans is a biological condition. The phrasing of the tweet was poor. The interest has been overwhelming, but many different concerns have also been raised. And as a responsible advocacy organization, we have listened to all those concerns. Consequently, we have decided not to publish. So, hindi sila nag-publish. Bakit? Kasi daw, natatakot sila na gamitin ito ng mga eugenicists, ang gay gene, kapag nagkaroon ng science ang transgenderism. In fact, may isang article sa Daily Beast who is very pro-trans, sinulat ni Samantha Allen, sabi, the search for the transgender brain is dangerous and dehumanizing. So, hindi daw kailangan we don't need another scientific study to boost acceptance of transgender people. We need transgender people to start being accepted in workplaces, in religion, and in families. The hunt for the transgender brain is just as fraught as the quest to find a gay gene. And ito naman yung sinasabi ko kanina. Actually, ang brains of gay people resembled those of straight people of the opposite sex than the brains of a straight people. So, ito yung sinasabi natin kanina na and yung transgender brain has already been debunked dahil there are 2 types of trans. Sila yung isa is yung biological man who identify as woman who are gay, meaning lalaki din yung gusto niya. And yung biological man who identify as a woman na hindi gay, sabihin babae ang gusto niya. Yung mga na-attract sa lalaki din, sila yung nagre-resemble sa babae din, na na-attract din sa lalaki. So, ito yung reason kung bakit may mga trans who who have a brain na similar sa babae. So this is the explanation behind that. At the same time, yun nga, as conclusion, maraming mga trans na ayaw din nila ang research na ito at hindi nila ginagamit ang quote-unquote transgender brain para i-prove ang kanilang pagiging babae or pagiging lalaki, ang pagiging identified gender nila. Sila mismo, yung mga activist group, ang tumututol dito at ayaw gamitin yung quote-unquote science dito sa bagay na ito. And sila din nagsasabi actually na debunked ang science na ito on the basis of they're actually gay. Hindi yung pagiging trans nila, yung pagkakapareho nila dun sa brain ng babae. Okay, so yan lang muna. This has been another episode of the Jay Ruga Show. At the end of the day, it will be night. Goodbye. Hi, this is Jay Ruga of the Jay Ruga Show. If you like what you just saw, please consider subscribing and smash that like button. We'll need all of your help to take back the culture from this ideological colonization of the West. Thank you.